Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into this episode of Fair Weather Fishing. And man, let me tell you, it is fair weather. It is gorgeous out here today. It's going to be a tough day for fishing. Ain't a cloud in the sky. But I am headed to Williamstown. We're going to meet up with our old buddy Greg. Haven't fished Williamstown since the spring. And I really love getting out there in September, but this year just could not make it happen. So this is the first one of the fall. Getting real excited the closer I get, and been hearing about some big weights, so hopefully we can get into some of those bigger fish. Hopefully we can get on a bunch of fish, but honestly, like I always say, it doesn't really matter. I'm just happy to be out on the boat and spend a little time with Greg. We did fish together in the spring. I was thinking we haven't fished together all year, but no, we did fish together a couple times in the spring, and the one at Tanner's, I forgot about that one. So anyway, here we go to Williamstown. Hopefully, we got something good for you.
Well, as you can see, even though we didn't get to the lake very early, it was still kind of cool that morning and there was a little bit of fog. So I'd imagine if we'd have got there earlier, there would have been a whole lot of fog. But it was pretty cool that morning. I have my sweatshirt and sweatpants, but I just did not want to put them on. Greg, however, stayed in his jacket most of the day.
Oh shit, I got one. He was right on my pole, I could tell. Oh, that's nice. There's a nice fish for the first one of the day. Probably 2 3/4. Might be 3. What do you think?
Pretty close to it.
Heck of a fish. Should have kept a couple. Take the Richard Cobb glory shot. There we go. That one? Yep. Keep them better than the one we had earlier.
You want to sell it?
Or buy it. Better yet, buy it.
Well, I tried that. He said, well, the country bands, I just can't keep them together. He said, every time I get some guys to play together, something's up happening, somebody can't go anymore.
You see that? I didn't even have a chance to set the hook. I just had to reel him.
Pretty skinny.
Yeah, long and lean. You got 2 pot roll friends.
Oh, yeah. My buddy up in Michigan, his name was Rodney. Well, was in the Navy with him. He actually owns a fertilizer company.
Look at this.
What is it, turtle? Oh, shell.
They don't like them buzzards. They're getting out there too. They're lighting out.
As I've always said, one of the things I love about fishing is the wildlife, and to see how these hawks were relating with these buzzards and trying to scare them off, and you'd hear one hawk in one direction, and you'd hear another one behind you a few hundred yards away. really cool. Really, just a really cool day. And of course, you always got geese flying by and a couple blue herons, and I just love the wildlife, particularly the birds. But I guess I am kind of a bird guy or bird brain.
Changed my mind on what I want to do to myself. Are you catching him today?
No, sir, not at all.
It's been a tough day.
The water, I think it's in the turnover period. It looks rusty.
It started looking that way we noticed last week too.
Yeah, it's looking at like it's hitting that turnover period where everything's starting to die off and everything.
Well, there ain't enough of that snot moss dying off because I keep picking it off of my stuff every time.
Yeah. You still at Sportsman's Warehouse?
I certainly am.
Are you?
Yeah.
I watched one of your videos the other day on YouTube.
Oh, good. Did you like it?
Yeah, you was on the river. I think it's Big Bone.
Yeah, I did. Go down there a lot. I can be down there in 15 minutes about.
Yeah.
One of them I always liked was, they talk about a tornado and it sounds just like a freight train.
Yeah.
How do you know it wasn't a passenger train?
It was just an L.
Do they sound differently? Hey, look here.
Hey, how about that?
He's long and skinny. He'll keep, but he don't even
He
weigh
don't weigh
pounds.
much. You read newspaper for it. On the bush hog.
Well,
Listen,
we got a pound and a half between us now. I forgot to tell you today's goal
if we
was
get a couple extra drops of water.
yeah. Today's goal was 12 pounds.
Again, I've always been a fan of nature, and even though I don't like winter at all, one of the things I like in the fall is the pretty leaves changing, and at least it's normally warm enough where you can get outside and do what you want to do and be comfortable. But I just love seeing how these leaves change. This is a little early for us compared to what we've had in the past. Years past, the leaves aren't even beginning to change until 1st of November, second week of November maybe. But this year they changed a little early. And in Williamstown it was strange because after we were done fishing that day, I went home and I was so excited I decided to get the wife and take her cruising around to see some of the leaves change. But I guess they only changed on the lake at Williamstown because everywhere we went and drove around in Boone County, we didn't see any leaves changing that day. But here they are, that very same morning at Williamstown, and they're definitely changing. Hey, I appreciate you all watching this episode. I realize it wasn't much of an episode for catching a lot of fish, but we did have that one nice 3-pounder in there, and we had a lot of outdoor scenery to check out, but it has definitely been a tough year for me. As far as catching fish, I don't know if it's because as I get older I'm losing my touch, what? Also, I'm just not getting the opportunity to get on the water as much as I used to. I'm hoping to change that in 2023. I'm making some changes in life, and who knows what else might happen, but I'm hoping that'll enable me some more time on the water. I've always said I believe time on the water equals fishing success, and hopefully we can prove that next year. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.